Okay, the last video was to do with the get and set method to access class variables. Yeah, and so we were passing 25 into the set method, and it was changing the class variable, and then we were using the get method to get that method that variable and return it so we could put it on screen. Now we're going to be doing is like the for loop in Ruby, and so you can see here in Java we've already got a for loop. That's how it's done in Java. It's for in brackets is with the integer and made it equal to something, and the scope for this integer is just the for loop, and there's a condition to be met, and if that condition is true, the for loop loops, and when it's not true, it exits the loop and goes on to the next line of code, like this one here, and keeps moving forward. And within after that condition, there's an increment I. There's an increment this, so that will be incremented to 5, 6, 7, and then when it gets to 8, it exits the loop. So that's how it's done, and that's the code between the curly brackets operators. Any code between these will be executed, so it can be many lines of code, but just the one there. And to show you it working, I'll just run. Yeah, it took its time, and you can see that in here we've got a string loop, and the number of I. So, and if we make this bigger, you can see that this is before the loop, and it's loop 4, loop 5, loop 6, loop 7, and then after the loop it's hello world from the other classes. So once it got to 8, it exited the loop and came out, and so that's what loops do. Loops are for when you know the number of something. And so if we go to Ruby, we'll go to the interactive, and a for loop is basically you do for, and then you've got a container like in the Java we have declared a variable called I, which could be like for index, it could be any name you wanted, and we assigned it a number. Well, the same here in Ruby is we don't need to say integer, we just need to give it a name, and then we're going to give it a range, and whatever number that range is on is going to be this variable we're creating is going to be that value, and so we'll call it loopy, okay, and in is a keyword for in, and then we give it a range 1 ... for a range to 4, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stop the for loop, and hit enter, and we're going to do puts, and we're going to put loopy. Yep. And so whatever number that, it's going to go 1, then it's going to go 2, and it's going to go 3, and it's going to go 4. What number that is, if it's going to end, hit enter, it's going to print it out. Put S is going to put the string to screen. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was the range 1 to 4, and so that's a basic loop. I'm going to go back to the Eclipse, and I'm going to put it here. From the last tutorial we created a set method and we passed 25 to it. Then we created a get method, and the get method copied the variable 25 and then passed it to this variable, and then we printed it to screen. So so we put 25 onto the variable, then we used the other method to get it and show it here. So after the 25, it'll print the 25 again. After that's going to be the for loop, and we call it anything we want. So loopies, just to make it different from that one there, and just to show it can be anything you want. In is a keyword, and we can do like 4.5, enter, put s, loopies, end, right, and save. There's highlighted an error here, and not too sure why. It seems okay to me. Enter. It's because there's so many. Yeah, it's nothing, not an error. It's just because there was so many lines. Save. Go to the DOS prompt. I've changed the colour of interactive in the DOS prompt. All you do is right click the corner there, properties, colours, and you can change the background in the text colour. So that's what I've done here. So hello underscore world dot rb, and what you can see, you've got the 25, and then you've got 4 and 5, and I'll take this down here. Take this down here. Let's say 4 and it's probably, I'm probably better to make it a bigger number so you can see it. Save it. Save. Does. And now you've got 25. You've got 4, 5, 6, and 7, and after 7 it stopped the root. So that's the root working. And I'll show you that you can go -4 to 7. It doesn't have to be like a positive number, it can be a negative number, and it'll still count up. And so if I save and run the program, what you've got 25, then you've got -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to comment this loop out, and I'm going to do a loop for an array. Normally a for loop is just for when you know the number of times you want to loop. So a while loop would be when you don't know how many times, but you're testing for a condition, and when it becomes false, you stop looping. Yeah, you stop the looping once that condition is. So an array can be many different sizes. If you know the size of the array, then you can use a for loop for it. But if you don't know the size of an array, you can still use a for loop. And I'll show you how. There's a special method that's part of an array. And so the first thing I'll do is declare an array equals. It's the same as declaring a variable. You would, like, the array is going to be called Charles, and it's going to equal. If it was a variable, Charles equals and a certain value. Well, this equals square brackets, and that means it's an array. And so we can just declare it and not give it any values, and we can add them later, or we can do it now, and we're just going to do it now, and we're going to cover arrays later on. And the first number, I'm going to make it a big number, just to show you that it doesn't need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll be able to see when that first one's been accessed. And so if we hit enter, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. So that's us declared our array. But an array, like most other languages, starts with 0. And then the second one goes to 1. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. The last element's not element number 6, it's element number 5, because we started in element number 0, and that's element number 1, which is the second one. The third one is element number 2, and so on until we get to element number 6, which is number 5. The sixth element, which is number 5. So that's important to know for when you come to the for loop. For, and we can call it any name again. So roundabout. In is a keyword, and 1 dot dot, and we use the name of the array called Charles dot, and the special method is length, and it tells you the length of the array, which is how many elements is in the array. And so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 elements, so it will pass the value 6, but the last element's not 6, it's 5. To access the last one is you would access it with the number 5, and so we'll type in length, and that will pass at number 6. So that's just what we've got to remember. So we're going to do put test Charles, the name of the array, brackets, and inside here we're going to have roundabout, which is going to start. It's going to start off number 1, and it's going to go to number 6 because that's what Charles' length is. So if we put a minus 1 in here, that means 1 is going to equal 0, 2 is going to equal 1, and away at the other end 6 is going to equal 5, and we're going to be able to access this array in the right order. And so end, save, run the program. Yeah, this is a typo. Roundabout, we've spelt that wrong. Round, yeah, there's no D in here, so I'll put a D in, just always a typo. Yeah, and so that's the first element, is 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's us. Thank you for this, and that's us for loops. It's very simple in Ruby, like most other things. It's easy to remember, and it's easy to write your code, and you can do really wonderful things with it. And so that's us for loops. Right, thank you again for listening.